Sophia Petitza there in Brussels. Now away from events in the Middle East, and another developing story we're following. News that India's Supreme Court has ruled against legalising same-sex marriage, but it has made civil unions legal for lesbian and gay couples. The government, that's led by the Hindu nationalist BJP party, and religious leaders have been strongly opposed to same-sex unions, saying they are against Indian culture. Well, a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court that was headed by the Chief Justice of India heard arguments in the case back in April. Well, with the latest about the implications, our South Asia correspondent is Samira Hussain, who's following the case.
It was a really nuanced decision, Ben, in which the Supreme Court justices were unanimous in saying they believe that same-sex marriage should be allowed, but it was not within the scope of what the Supreme Court could do. That legalizing same-sex marriage, was something that had to be done by Parliament. What it did say is that, look, marriage is not protected under the Constitution, but being free from any form of discrimination, including sexual discrimination, is something that is protected in the Constitution. And because married couples are able to get a whole bunch of benefits like tax breaks and pension benefits and making medical decisions for their partners, that's something that same-sex couples are not able to avail themselves of. And so what the Supreme Court has said is that, look, you need to create a parliamentary committee, and you need to regulate and need to sort of find ways to make sure that you're not in violation of their rights to not be discriminated against.
And Samira, that was the view very much from the legislators, from the lawmakers, but there was a rare show of unity, wasn't there, by India's main religious groups. They were also arguing against same-sex unions.
Yes, indeed. And for them, it was, look, a marriage is very much between a man and a woman, and it needs to be heterosexual. It's really rare to see unity amongst the main religious groups here in India, but there it was. And remember, part of the government's argument, of course, was that this goes against Indian values, same-sex marriage, that in fact, this is really more of an urban, elitist, Western idea. And that is something actually the Supreme Court countered, saying that there is a very long history of same-sex couples and same-sex unions in this country.
That's our correspondent Samira Hussain there in Delhi. Now I just want to return